Well, hello, I'm Emrys from cruisehive.com. Are you ready for the latest cruise news? We've got plenty going on which could impact your cruise vacation. Alright then everyone, are you ready for your weekly cruise news update and to find out when all the NCL ships are making a comeback? Well, just before we start, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the Cruise Hive YouTube channel. Also feel free to post a comment below on any of the featured news stories. A bit later we've also got major news from Carnival, but first, here are some other important news stories. Despite their best efforts, the popular Meerwerft shipyard in Germany cannot complete the build of the new Disney Wish on time. The newest addition to Disney Cruise Line is highly anticipated, and the cruise line has been steadily building up that anticipation over the past year. But folks, we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer. The shipyard informed Disney Cruise Line it would be unable to deliver Disney Wish in the specified timeframes and the first sailing date of June 9th, 2022. At least the first 12 voyages for the Disney Wish have now been cancelled. The cruise line did announce a new sailing date from her home port of Port Canaveral on July 14th, 2022. As Disney works through the changes that have happened, it has temporarily closed all bookings for its newest ship. A message on the company website states that these bookings will be unavailable until February 8th. This will enable Disney Cruise Line to make the changes to the affected voyages and book guests on the maiden voyage to the new maiden voyage on July 14th. The Meerwerft is building Disney Wish in Papenburg, Germany. The cruise ship will have a space for 4,000 passengers and comes in at 144,000 gross tons. The ship will be sailing 3 and 4 night itineraries, sailing from Port Canaveral to the Bahamas with calls in Nassau and Disney's private island of Castaway Cay. Also, the 4-night cruise will have a day at sea. As travel restrictions continue and different governments adapt their health and safety protocols, Princess Cruises has made the difficult decision to cancel Japan sailings aboard Diamond Princess through June 9th, 2022. This suspension affects 10 upcoming Diamond Princess sailings, with embarkation dates ranging from April 28th through June 9th, 2022. The affected itineraries range from 5 to 14 days and include the Golden Week sailing, Korea and Japan getaway itineraries, and Southern Islands voyages. Princess Cruises has identified equivalent sailings in 2023, and guests on the cancelled cruises will be moved to those new cruises automatically. This will keep the guests' vacation plans intact with the same fare price, incentives, and promotional offers, as well as the same stateroom category where available. So the replacement cruises are scheduled for embarkation from April 29th, 2023 through June 8th, 2023, depending on the sailing. The itineraries are very similar, but guests should note that some of the voyages are not for the same number of nights. You can check all the details and options being offered to impacted guests over on cruisehive.com, and also we've got a list there on all those replacement voyages. In September, Holland America line had announced that the Westerdam was to have begun sailing again with a series of 7-day Alaskan sailings from Seattle, Washington, beginning May 8th, 2022. That restart has now been changed, with several early sailings cancelled. The ship's first return to service sailing will be a 7-day Alaskan Explorer itinerary that departs on June 12th, 2022 and returns to Seattle on Sunday, June 19th. Further Westerdam sailings in June and throughout the summer have not been changed. For guests booked on the now cancelled Westerdam sailings, their reservations are being transferred to comparable sailings on the slightly larger Westerdam cruise ship. While the cruise itineraries are similar and both vessels are sailing from Seattle, Westerdam does depart on its 7-day voyages on Saturdays, whereas Westerdam departs on Sundays. Reservations are being transferred automatically and guests are receiving the same or equivalent stateroom category with all incentives and promotions of their cruise fare protected. Okay, now on to Carnival Cruise Line. No doubt you've been hearing a lot from the cruise line this past week. Yes, the cruise line has provided a further update on ships still waiting to resume operations, including additional details on an update released on February 1st, 2022, which is of course over on cruisehive.com. So Carnival Ecstasy is still scheduled to take over Carnival Sensation sailings from Mobile, Alabama on March 7th, 2022. The Fantasy class vessel will remain sailing from the port of Mobile through October 10th, 2022. The scheduled sailings from Mobile from October 15th, 2022 through September 30th, 2023 have been cancelled, and Carnival is set to announce new plans for cruise operations from the port in the future. As the cruise line previously announced, we already knew that Carnival Sensation, which was originally set to resume cruises from Mobile on March 7th, 2022, was to remain on hold even further. However, that is no longer the case, as Carnival Sensation, which entered service for the cruise line in 1993, will no longer return to operations. The cruise line has also announced that Carnival Ecstasy, which entered service in 1991, will also leave the fleet after completing her final voyage on October 10th, 2022. It's not known if the two Fantasy class vessels have been sold for scrap or purchased by another cruise line. Now, as a former Carnival Cruise Line crew member, I'm very sad to hear this news, of course, especially for Carnival Sensation. She was the first ship I ever worked on, all the way back now, I think it was in 2005. So very, very sad to see the ship leaving the fleet. And as we stay with Carnival Cruise Line, in an email to booked guests on February 4th, Carnival has informed guests that its Carnival Splendor will temporarily relocate to North America. It is not yet known where Carnival Splendor may be situated as a home port. The announcement letter only indicates the ship will position in North America, but no specific home port is named. Those details will likely be forthcoming soon, as new itineraries will be planned. The repositioning of Carnival Spirit was announced earlier this week, and the ship has already departed Dubai, where she was waiting for redeployment orders, and is now heading to Jacksonville, Florida to restart sailings on March 5th, 2022. Carnival Spirit is replacing Carnival Ecstasy at that port, which of course, as we already know, the ship is moving to Mobile, Alabama to complete her final voyages before leaving the Carnival fleet entirely in October. So with both Carnival Spirit and Carnival Splendor now leaving Australia, additional sailings have to be cancelled in that country. According to the cruise line's travel advisory website in Australia, Carnival Spirit cruises have been cancelled through and including October 5th, 2023. And now Carnival Splendor Australia sailings are cancelled through and including September 26, 2022. No cruise ships have resumed operations in Australia since the industry-wide shutdown began in March 2020. How ridiculous is that? When are cruises going to finally resume in Australia? What do you think about all this? Do let us know in the comments below. Just weeks ago, Norwegian Cruise Line halted operations for no less than 11 cruise ships. 3 ships have resumed operations again, and 8 are scheduled to resume in the coming weeks and months. Of those 3 cruise ships that did restart after the temporary suspension, Norwegian Dawn is currently sailing from Tampa Bay, Florida. Norwegian Getaway is sailing the Western Caribbean from the brand new cruise terminal in Port Miami, and Norwegian Escape also resumed operations sailing from Port Canaveral. Norwegian Cruise Line will be expanding its operational activity worldwide in the next 3 months. The cruise line intends to start cruises in various countries, including Italy, Spain, Panama, Tahiti, and of course, the US. Norwegian Pearl will be making her comeback on February 7th when she sets sail from Miami, Florida. On March 2nd, 2022, Norwegian Sky will be setting sail to the Eastern Caribbean, also from Miami. The first ship to resume operations outside the US will be Norwegian Jewel, sailing from Panama City, departing on March 29th. On March 30th, Norwegian Jewel will return to operations from Civitavecchia near Rome in Italy. Norwegian Star will also be operating in Europe, sailing from Barcelona, Spain, starting April 3rd. By April 9th, 2022, the moment that many guests have been waiting for will finally happen. Yes, Pride of America, the only large US flag registered cruise ship, will start her sailings on April 9th, 2022 from Honolulu, Hawaii. Alright, those were just a handful of the cruise news stories from the past week. We've got everything covered over on cruisehive.com, including Carnival Cruise Line suffers a website glitch, Royal Caribbean provides a business update, MSC Cruises details its winter 2022-23 season with 21 vessels, Dream Cruises suspends bookings for an additional 2 weeks, Princess Cruises expands contactless payment to destinations, repairs are to begin on the iconic Queen Mary in Long Beach, and loads more cruise news all over on the website. Don't worry, we have you covered. If you did find the video informative at all, then it would be great if you could like the video and subscribe to the Cruise Hive YouTube channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment on any of the featured news stories. Thanks for your time, everyone. I'm Emrys, and I'll see you all soon.